Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So in this video, I'm going to be going through the step-by-step process of what I do to evaluate a property deal. So whether you're a beginner or a seasoned property investor, you can use the items that I share in this checklist to ensure that you're not making rookie mistakes and every property deal is a winner. So the first step is all about location. It's not just about where the property is, but the future growth area for that property as well. So there's a few key things that I look for when looking to make a property purchase. First is the rental demand. When I advertise that property, will I get people wanting to actually live there? And a great way to assess this is just to look at Rightmove, for example, and here you can actually check for the properties that are being letted out and then also the price that they're being rented out for. And you can do this by just plugging in the postcode, putting in the number of bedrooms, the type of property, and this will give you a good idea of what type of rent to expect for a property in that area. And then also you can assess how many of those have been let agreed, which means that there's been an agreement with a tenant or a prospective tenant to actually rent that property. Another great way is actually to look on SpareRoom as well. So on SpareRoom, you can actually assess how many people are looking for a room to rent and then how many landlords are actually renting out a room as well. And if the demand is significantly more than the supply, then you know that that area may be high in rental demand. The next thing to look for is the employment opportunities in that area as well. So are there large institutions in that area, big employers? Because if there are, then there's a high likelihood that the rental demand will also be high as well. And lastly, what you want to be assessing here is what type of future projects are in that area as well. So is the council planning for regeneration of the area? If so, then this can definitely drive property prices up in the future. The next thing is the numbers. So mastering the numbers is absolutely crucial. Number one, you want to be assessing the cash flows and what type of profit are you going to be seeing every single month. The way to do this is to look at the rent and minus all the expenses from that rent. So this will be your mortgage, maintenance, and potentially your letting agent costs as well, if you are using a letting agent to manage your property. The second thing is the ROI. So what is the return on investment? And the way to do this is just to look at your yearly profit and divide it by all the capital you've put into the deal. And lastly, you also want to assess the gross yield as well. And this is just the total rent that you'll receive from that property over the year divided by the purchase price. So just to give an example, if the purchase price is £150,000 and the rent is £1,000 a month, which is £12,000 every year, then the yield is 8%. And generally for me, anything 7% or above is a good start. Next is the condition and the cost. So you don't want to get blindsided by unexpected costs that occur that you didn't foresee before you made that property purchase. And there's a few key things that you want to be looking for. So first is the structural repairs that need to be done with the property. Especially if it's a property that you're looking to refurb, you want to understand how significant this is going to be. So the damp that's in the property, the roof issues, any other structural issues as well. Understand the renovation costs. You want to ensure that the costs are not going to be far more than what you actually had a budget for that property. And lastly, you want to make sure you get good surveying to ensure that any problems that you might not have been able to see is picked up in a comprehensive survey. And a good tip is when you are viewing these properties, especially rundown properties that do need a lot of work, that you're bringing in a builder with you that can assess the costs and the work that will need to be done for you. Next is seller's motivation. So you want to understand why the seller is selling. Are they not concerned when it sells, or are they in a real rush because of some other extenuating circumstance that's happened? Now, if you know the seller is in a rush and you're in a position where you can move very quickly, then this is going to be attractive to the seller. So you want to know why they're selling, because if you know that information, then you may be better placed to negotiate the property price as well. And what I tend to do is whenever I'm actually speaking to an estate agent, I ask them two questions. I ask them, why is the seller selling? And also, are they willing to negotiate? I'll assess what the property is being advertised for. So let's say it's advertised for £150,000. I will ask the estate agent, is the seller set on selling it at £150,000 or is there some room for negotiation? And more often than not, the estate agent will actually be honest and truthful about this. And they may advise you that they are willing to negotiate, and already you know that you can actually purchase this property potentially below the price that's been advertised for. And lastly is the exit strategy. You want to be clear on this before you even buy the property. So are you looking to flip the property? Are you looking to just buy and hold and just have the rental income coming in and wait for long-term future capital growth? Or are you looking to add value to the property, refinance, and then use that money to buy more properties? You want to be clear on this, because if you are not, then you might have money tied up in a deal that you didn't expect to, and you may now miss out on opportunities that you wouldn't have done if you had done your due diligence up front. So I hope this video has helped you understand some key things you want to be looking for before making a property purchase. Now, if you want to understand a little bit more about how to actually assess cash flow, the return on investment. I actually talk through this and break down the numbers for my first buy to let, and you can watch that here. So if you enjoyed this video, do give it a like, and if you found value from this video or any other video on this channel, then do subscribe as well. And until next time, happy investing.